My name is Franklin Briggs. I am 73 years old. For 45 years I worked as a carpenter. I built houses, cabinets, furniture, and lives. I built a home for my family with my own 2 hands. My hands are gnarled with arthritis now. My back is bent from decades of lifting and stooping. My knees ache with every step I take, but I have never complained. Not once. Because everything I did, every nail I drove, every piece of wood I cut, every early morning and late night, I did it for my children. I have 4 children, 4, Benjamin the oldest, then Constance, then Douglas, then little Margaret, my baby girl. I raised them alone after my wife, my beloved Esther, passed away. She died when Margaret was only 2 years old, cancer. It took her slowly, painfully, and I watched her fade away while our children grew up around us. I worked 2 jobs after Esther died. Carpentry during the day, night janitor at a school. I slept 4 hours a night for 15 years. I did not complain, I did not date, I did not take vacations, I did not buy new clothes. Every penny I earned went to my children, food, clothes, school supplies, college tuition, weddings, down payments on houses. Everything they needed they got. Everything they asked for I provided. I thought they appreciated it. I thought they understood the sacrifices I made. I thought they loved me. I was wrong, so terribly wrong. The cruelty started small, subtle, the kind of cruelty that could be explained away if you wanted to believe the best in people. Benjamin stopped calling on Father's Day. Constance started inviting me to family dinners but seating me at the children's table. Douglas began borrowing money he never repaid. Margaret, my sweet Margaret, stopped visiting altogether. I made excuses for them. I told myself they were busy. I told myself they had their own lives. I told myself I was being too sensitive. I told myself 1,000 lies because the truth was too painful to face. The truth was that they were ashamed of me. I am a carpenter. I smell like sawdust and hard work. My clothes come from discount stores. My truck has rust on the fenders. I am not wealthy. I am not important. I am not the kind of father they wanted to show off to their friends and colleagues. Benjamin is a lawyer. He has a corner office and an assistant who brings him coffee and a wife who comes from money. He married into a family that owns a chain of department stores. They are people who matter. They are people who belong to a world that I do not belong to. Constance is a doctor, a pediatrician. She saves children's lives. She is respected and admired and celebrated. She has a beautiful house and a handsome husband and 2 perfect children. She is everything I am not. Douglas is a businessman. He owns a chain of restaurants. He is successful and confident and always on the verge of the next big deal. He is always asking for money, always promising to pay it back, always forgetting. And Margaret, my Margaret, she is an artist. She paints beautiful things. She lives in a small apartment in the city and struggles to make ends meet. She is the only one who ever calls me, the only one who ever visits, the only one who still seems to care. But she is far away, and she has her own life, and I am alone. The breaking point came on my 70th birthday. I did not want a party. I am not the kind of man who enjoys being the center of attention. I wanted a quiet dinner, just me and my children. Maybe a phone call from my grandchildren. That was all I wanted. Benjamin insisted on throwing a party, a big one, at his house. He invited all his important friends. He invited his in-laws. He invited my neighbors. He invited everyone except Margaret. He said she was too busy and wouldn't fit in anyway. "Why didn't you invite your sister?" I asked him. "Margaret doesn't want to come," he said. "She made that clear years ago. She wants nothing to do with us." "That's not true. She just has her own life. She's an artist. She's different from us." "She's a burden," Benjamin said. "She's always been a burden. She takes and never gives anything back. She's pathetic." I did not argue. I never argued with Benjamin. It was easier to let him have his way. It was easier to keep the peace. The party was at Benjamin's house. It was lavish, expensive, over the top. There was a caterer. There was a live band. There was an open bar. It was the kind of party that Benjamin loved and I hated. I stood in the corner holding a glass of champagne I did not want, smiling at people I barely knew. Benjamin was at the center of the room, holding court, telling stories, laughing loudly. He was the star of the show. He always was. Then he raised his glass for a toast. "To my father," he said, "the man who gave me everything." Everyone raised their glasses. I smiled. I felt a swell of pride. Maybe I had been wrong about Benjamin. Maybe he did appreciate me. Maybe he did love me. Then he kept talking. "The man who worked his whole life and has nothing to show for it. The man who gave me everything I have and is now dependent on me to take care of him. The man who is old and broken and useless." The room went silent. "I love my father," Benjamin continued. "I love him because he taught me what not to do. He taught me that hard work is for suckers. He taught me that being poor is a choice. He taught me that if you want something in life, you have to take it, because no one is going to give it to you." I felt the champagne glass slip from my fingers. It shattered on the floor. Red wine spread like blood across the white carpet. "Benjamin," I said. My voice was barely a whisper. "Don't look so shocked, Dad," he said. "You think I didn't know, you think I didn't see how you failed. You worked yourself to the bone, and what did you get? Nothing. A broken body, an empty bank account, a daughter who won't talk to you, a son who is ashamed of you." I could not speak, I could not move, I could not breathe. "Constance was right to leave," Benjamin said. "She saw what I saw. She knew that you were never going to be the father we needed. She just had the courage to walk away. I stayed. I stayed because I wanted something, and I got it." "What are you talking about?" Benjamin smiled. It was not a kind smile. "The house, Dad. The one you helped me buy. I put it in my name. I transferred the deed. You didn't even read the papers you signed, did you?" I stared at him. I remembered the papers, the ones he had brought to me last year, the ones he said were for a refinance, the ones he said would protect my investment. "What have you done?" I whispered. "I have taken everything you have," he said. "The house, the car, the money, all of it. It's mine now. You have nothing." The room was spinning. People were whispering. Someone was crying. I did not know who. "Why?" I asked. "Why would you do this?" "Because I could," he said. "Because you were weak. Because you let me. Because you never said no, not once, not ever. And I wanted to see how far I could push you." I turned. I walked out of the room. I walked through the house. I walked out the front door. I got in my car. I drove home. I did not cry. I was too empty for tears. I sat in my living room for 3 days. I did not eat. I did not sleep. I just sat there, staring at the wall, replaying Benjamin's words over and over. Old and broken and useless. Nothing to show for it. You were weak. I thought about Constance, the doctor, the one who had walked away. I thought about the years I had ignored her struggles. The years I had given everything to Benjamin and nothing to her. The years I had failed to see that she was drowning while I was busy saving my son. I thought about Douglas, the businessman, the one who was always asking for money. I thought about the thousands of dollars I had given him over the years, the thousands of dollars I would never see again. I thought about Margaret, my sweet Margaret, the only one who still called, the only one who still visited, the only one who still seemed to care. And I thought about Benjamin, my firstborn, the one I had given everything to, the one who had taken everything and then laughed in my face. I had 4 children, 4, and I was all alone. I do not know how long I sat there. It could have been hours, it could have been days. Time had lost all meaning. But then there was a knock at the door, a soft knock, hesitant, like someone who was not sure they would be welcomed. I did not move, I did not answer. The door opened. A woman walked in. She was about 45. She had gray-streaked hair and kind eyes and a face that was familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. "Dad," she said. It was Constance, my doctor daughter, the one who had walked away. I stared at her. I could not believe it. After years of silence, she was standing in my living room. "Constance," I whispered. "I heard what happened," she said. "Someone from the party called me, one of Benjamin's friends. She was horrified. She said you looked like you were going to collapse. She said you left without saying a word. I was worried. I came as fast as I could." I shook my head. "You didn't have to come. I don't deserve." "Stop," she said. She sat down beside me. She took my hand. Her hand was soft and warm. "I know I haven't been here. I know I disappeared. But I never stopped loving you, Dad. I never stopped worrying about you. I didn't know how to come back." "Why did you leave? Why did you stop talking to me?" She was quiet for a moment. Then she spoke. "Because I was angry," she said. "For years I was so angry. I felt invisible. I felt like nothing I did mattered. I felt like Benjamin was the only one you cared about, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I left. I made a new life. I told myself I didn't need you." "Did you need me?" She squeezed my hand. "I always needed you. I was just too proud to admit it." I started to cry. For the first time in 3 days I cried. The tears came like a flood, unstoppable and cleansing. "I'm sorry," I said. "I am so sorry, Constance. I failed you. I failed you so badly." "You didn't fail me," she said. You weren't perfect, and I expected you to be. That was my mistake, not yours." We held each other, father and daughter, finally together. The next few weeks were a blur. Constance moved into my house temporarily. She helped me sort through my affairs. She called lawyers. She contacted the bank. She started the process of trying to recover what Benjamin had stolen. Benjamin fought it. He hired expensive lawyers. He claimed that I had given him everything willingly. He claimed that I was senile. He claimed that I had lost my mind and that Constance was taking advantage of me. But the lawyers found evidence, emails, bank records, the transfer documents Benjamin had forged. He had signed my name on the deed transfer. He had created false documents to make it look like I had approved everything. Benjamin was arrested, charges of fraud, forgery, elder financial abuse. He was facing years in prison. I went to the courthouse. I watched them take my son away in handcuffs. He looked at me with hate in his eyes. "Dad," he said, "please don't do this. I'm your son. I'm your firstborn." "You were my son," I said. "You were the son I gave everything to, and you threw it all away. You stole from me. You humiliated me. You broke my heart. I can change. I can make it right." "You had 45 years to make it right, Benjamin. You chose not to." The bailiff led him away. I did not watch him go. Constance stayed. She helped me clean out Benjamin's house. We sold it. The money went toward paying off the debts Benjamin had accumulated in my name. I was not rich. I was not even comfortable, but I had enough. Enough to live on, enough to survive. Constance introduced me to her family. Her husband, Marcus. Her children, my grandchildren, Alina and Samuel. They are wonderful. They are smart and kind and full of life. They have Constance's smile. They have her gentle spirit. They look at me like I am a hero, not the broken old man I feel like. I do not deserve their love, but I am grateful for it. Douglas came to visit. He had heard about what happened. He was ashamed. He admitted that he had taken advantage of me. He admitted that he had never intended to pay back the money I had lent him. He admitted that he was just like Benjamin. "I'm sorry, Dad," he said. "I know sorry isn't enough. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I want you to know that I'm trying to be better. I'm going to therapy. I'm working on my issues. I'm trying to be the son you deserved." I looked at him. My son. The one who was always asking for money. The one who was always on the verge of the next big deal. "I forgive you," I said. "Not because you deserve it, because I need to let go of the anger. Because holding on to it has hurt me more than it has ever hurt you. Because your mother would want me to forgive you. Because I love you. And because love is stronger than betrayal." He cried. I held him. father and son, finally telling the truth. Margaret came home, my baby girl. She had heard about everything from Constance. She flew in from the city. She hugged me and told me she loved me and asked me why I had never told her about the pain. I didn't want to burden you, I said. You have your own life, your own struggles. You are my father, she said. You are never a burden, you are never too much. I love you. I have always loved you, and I am sorry I wasn't there for you. I held her, my sweet Margaret, the one who had always called, the one who had always visited, the one who had always cared. Things are different now, not perfect, but different. Constance and I have dinner every Sunday. She brings her family. We sit around the table and talk and laugh and eat. It is simple. It is ordinary. It is everything I ever wanted. Douglas comes once a month. He is working on his issues. He is trying to be better. He has started paying me back. Slowly, but he is trying. Margaret calls every week. She visits when she can. She tells me about her art, her life, her dreams. She is happy. She is free. She is everything I ever hoped she would be. Benjamin is in prison. He writes me letters, long letters, apologetic letters. He talks about his cell, his roommate, the food. He talks about how he wishes he could go back and undo everything. He talks about how he was blind and selfish and cruel. I read the letters. I do not respond. Not because I am angry, because I am not ready. I may never be ready, and that is okay. Last week, Constance asked me a question. Dad, she said, do you think you will ever forgive Benjamin, truly forgive him? I thought about it. I thought about the party, the words, the betrayal, the years of pain. I don't know, I said. Forgiveness is not something you do once. It is something you do every day. Some days I feel ready. Some days I don't, but I am trying. That is all I can do. She hugged me. That is all any of us can do. I am Franklin Briggs. I am 73 years old. I am a retired carpenter. I have rough hands and a bad back and a heart that has been broken and mended and broken again. My children were cruel. They were selfish. They were blind. They hurt me in ways I never thought possible. They took everything I had and left me with nothing. But they also came back. They apologized. They tried. They are still trying. And that is what matters, not the cruelty. The return, not the pain, the healing, not the betrayal, the forgiveness. I am not the same man I was. I am older, sadder, wiser, but I am also stronger. I have learned that love is not about being perfect. It is about showing up, even when it is hard, even when it hurts, even when the people you love have forgotten how to love you back. I have learned that forgiveness is not about the other person. It is about yourself. It is about letting go of the weight you are carrying. It is about freeing yourself from the prison of anger and resentment. I am still learning. I am still healing. I am still trying. But I am not alone anymore. My children are with me. My grandchildren are with me. My family is with me. And that is enough.